Okay, so the other question is, why do we use hexadecimal? So hexadecimal numbers are because as you get further and further with binary, you'll realise that binary numbers are great for doing the job that they're designed to do. And for the computer to work with binary numbers, for the computer to work, it's got to be in binary form. However, as a human, writing in binary form is quite difficult because the numbers become too long to remember. So if you were regularly going to have to write out numbers, to write out 110000 111111100 would be hard to remember all these different numbers for different things. So what we do is we often, as a computer scientist, you might work with hexadecimal numbers because if you were say there's some examples below. You might not know what all of these are yet, but don't worry. But if we said representing colours, so let's say you become a web designer or a graphic designer or something like that, and you want to change the colours of things on your computer, it's not too bad to, I really like this colour orange, FFA 500. All right. Do you remember FFA 500, which is a hexadecimal number? That's quite easy. But then what the computer would do, that would translate it into binary for when it's actually working. But if you were trying to remember that is 4, 8, 8, 16, 24. That's 24 ones and zeros in length. Don't worry about how I just worked that out, but because you'll know that once you do a little bit more with hex and hexadecimal numbers. But that's a combination of 24 ones or zeros. So if you imagine reeling out 1100 1111000 it would be a nightmare to try and remember that every time you wanted to type the color orange in. So that's one of the main reasons hexadecimal numbers exist. Okay, then you've got things like a MAC address. MAC addresses are really long numbers, so we represent them in hexadecimal because it's shorter. Assembly code memory addresses. So when you start looking at this thing called assembly code, you'll realize that memory addresses are referred to as hexadecimal memory locations, just because, again, it's shorter than their binary counterpart. So the main reason we use hexadecimal is because it's easier as a human being to work with than it is binary, and it's easier to remember.